All right, here we are. What is it, July 5th, 2023, with yet another discounted 25% off Twisted Masquerade 7th year anniversary shrine. And we've got a couple unique perks today. So we want to quick take a look at these and then we'll show some builds that we think they work real well in and kind of give our opinions on which ones are pickups, which ones are maybes, and which ones are stay clear. So we got a little scale here at the bottom: meta, off meta, meme, and trash. So we'll try to stick to that and kind of pigeonhole these into different tiers. So the first one we have is a Zarina perk, and that starts the trend of which a trend that all four of these will follow, which is original behavior IP. So all of these you could potentially unlock just by unlocking the characters with iridescent shards and spending BP to unlock the perks. And Zarina's got some other good perks, namely off the record. So I'm not talking about off the record today, but you might want to pick up Zarina and just unlock her the old fashioned way. But for the people, basically allows you to hit the activate ability button and you will heal another survivor from the dying state or injured by trading one health state of yourself. So you got to be healthy to do this. You got to have the health state to do this, and you can pick somebody up or you can fully heal them. The downside is you are trading a health state, so you become injured and broken for a cooldown. I think it's 60 seconds at its shortest, 70 here in tier two. The question is, why would you want to do that? Well, you can use this as an enabler, and you also can kind of take some pressure of a down, possibly a hook, away from the killer by healing up a teammate. And then you also can just, if they're slugging people, kind of get out of that kind of risky situation there. So for the people, very strong, but what does it fit in? Uh, One build we think it really fits into is the new meta build with hope, resilience, made for this, right? This enables your whole build to work, right? You got to be injured for resilience and made for this to work to get that speed boost and to also get that boost to all your other actions. So this is one way to enable that. So it kind of combos in that build well, but it is one of those things that you kind of have to build around. So when we grab our little pen here and pop up our thoughts here, our thoughts are going to be, I don't think our pen's showing up. Let's make sure that it is. So our pen's giving us a little bit of problems, so bear with us here. All right. See what we can do here. All right. Looks like it's showing up for us now. So with this one, this is definitely going to be one of those build around perks, right? I think it's got the chance to be close to meta, but it's definitely a build around perk. So we'll say build around or kind of off meta. And then we'll show the build that we recommend that we just talked about. So definitely one that I consider picking up, um, but you definitely have to be committed to building around it. So our second survivor perk is Appraisal, an LOD perk, and basically start with 3 tokens. And when you rummage through a chest, you can go through it a second time to get another item. You rummage 60% faster. So this is really an item collecting perk, and items are valuable, right? Having med kits, having flashlights, having keys to get out at the end, toolboxes to speed up generators, sabotage, all very valuable. The tough thing with this perk is it's a big time commitment. You've got to go to the chest, you got to rummage through it twice to get the items, and it's still not guaranteed you're going to get what you want or what you need. Again, with 3 tokens, 6 total searches, you probably will get what you want, but not guaranteed. So it's interesting. There's definitely some value there, but it is kind of a time sink. So what we're going to say with this one is uh, time sink. So maybe not worth it, but items are strong. So out of the two survivor perks, this is the one that appeals to us more for the people. Appraisal, we admit that there's strength there, there's value there. I just think the time outweighs. It's kind of like self care, right? Self care in its current state takes so long, right? Being healthy, having an extra health state, valuable. But the time that you put into it could be spent doing generators, could be spent healing teammates, getting yourself healed. It could be spent going for unhooks, just looping the killer. That's time you're losing, and it may cost you games. All right, so on the killer end of things, we've got two hexes. This shrine. So we've got Hex Haunted Ground Spirit perk, and basically this spawns two hex totems. When one of them is cleansed, the survivors are all exposed for 60 seconds. So it can help you get some downs, possibly a lot of downs, a number of downs with one hit, which is awesome. Again, it's got to be used on M1 killers, right? You're not going to be using your abilities for this. Uh, so it's limited in who you can use it on, but it also has the value of if you're running other hexes, spawning two of these in helps not ensure, but helps give you better odds of these being cleansed instead of your more important hexes. So a lot of value there. We'll show a build that we like with this. And the second one we have, and we'll kind of go through these, and then they're going to have kind of a similar end result of how we rate these. Crowd control is the next one, trickster perk. And basically, when a survivor vaults a rush vault, it blocks windows for 20 seconds, so it can shut down windows to let you get some hits that way. Perks like this are very strong. Perks like Bamboozle, you see a lot of. This is a hex, so it can be cleansed, but you don't have to step through the window. And sometimes stepping through the window to block the window isn't the best choice. Lets them leave a loop, get away. So definitely some value in blocking windows, especially on killers that can one shot or can follow up and get quick hits, quick downs. So definitely some value there. Both of these, though, their main issue are their hexes, so they can be cleansed. So you're gambling there, but also these both kind of need to be in full hex builds. Right, to get maximum value, you're gonna probably want to run a number of hexes because on their own, they don't stay up very long. I've seen crowd control run in builds just by itself. I've seen blood favor as well, kind of the chase hex perks, but once they're gone, they're gone. So we're going to say for both of these, once this decides to get out of our way, uh, you're committing two or more perk slots to these typically. And for that reason, and just hexes kind of being out of the meta, these are both kind of off meta, with this one being the stronger, but we do like both of them. So they're both kind of off meta, but they're both strong perks. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to the build side of things. These two we both consider if you're into hexes, and for the people we consider, we'll probably pass on appraisal. But we'll hop over to the builds, kind of show you some builds that we would use, and then come back here for the quick final summary. So we'll start with Survivor because we only have one perk to kind of showcase here, and think we have it up here. But this is the build we're talking about. This is a build that's very meta right now. Some variation of this, but you have made for this. Once you're injured, you have a 3% speed boost. That does help. Run it with resilience. So when you're injured, you can perform actions, savoing, repairing, healing, blah, blah, blah. Tons of them. 9% faster. And then in the end game, now you can combo these two and you are 10% faster. You're just zooming. And then you have for the people, can get some clutch heals and also an enabler for these two perks. So solid build right there. A little risky, right? You're gonna have to be pretty confident in your looping ability, but definitely a lot of value there if you decide to go with this kind of build. Now, when it comes to the killer perks, the hex perks, we'll take a look at some builds we like with that. And here's the first one. Haunted Ground does a great job of protecting other perks, especially if you pair it up with Undying, because then you get extra procs of Haunted Ground. So realistically, if things go perfect for you, you're going to want Haunted Ground to protect your Devour. You want this to proc. Then Undying turns into this. Now it procs again, so you get two Haunted Ground procs. And there's two of the three hooks that you need to get Devour going. So hopefully they're protecting Devour, and it gets you there. You need one more hook, and now all of a sudden you're rolling with Devour, one shotting people the rest of the game. You've got some jolt to slow things down. Very strong there. If we're talking about crowd control, I know some killers where blocking windows can be very strong, or killers like Plague. This is our preferred hex build with like Pentimento Plaything on uh, the Plague, and that gives you 4 or 5. But what you could do is you could go kind of a different direction here, right? Uh, Maybe you don't want retribution. Maybe you just want a more solid perk for finding out where survivors are, right? So we drop these two and we throw one something like discordance that just shows us where they're doubling up on gens. We have plaything, we have pentimento that gets us to 4. Now we want a fifth hex for our pentimento, so we have maximum stacks. And as we get downs, the playthings are going to help us protect the crowd control. Now you got a solid build there, right? But we have dedicated quite a few slots to hexes in both of these builds. We're at 3 perks there, so it's a heavy commitment, but it can be worthwhile. So we'll go back over to the store real quick and do our summary and be on our way. So again, these are kind of our thoughts here. Um, for the people is off meta, or it might even be meta now with the builds going around with made for this. It's definitely a build around me perk. You got to commit multiple slots to have some synergy to make it work, but definitely some strength there. And then both the hex perks we like. If you're into hexes, you might not be, and then they're pass, but hexes we like, and then appraisal will probably pass it on. Again, all of these are behavior IP, so you couldn't purchase the characters and then unlock with BP. But a lot of people kind of have a few characters that they play, especially on the survivor side, and then they use the shrine to grab any other perks that they want. So these are all ones to consider and some quality perks there. So we are wrapping this up. I'm Smig. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, stopping in, checking out the content. Hopefully it's helpful. If you like the content, please hit that subscribe button, and hopefully we see you in the comments on our stream or sometime in the fog. Take care.